I'm your host, Brother Michael Imhotep. It is Wednesday, November 25th, 2020, and we are live. Hope everybody's doing well today. It's been a very busy week already. Been a fairly busy news day as well. We know Donald Trump gave a, unindicted co-conspirator number one gave a pardon to a criminal named Lieutenant General Michael Flynn. So we'll deal with an abbreviated news roundup segment today. We know that we're coming up on Thanksgiving and Thanksgiving Day weekend as well. So on today's show, there was a big story that broke yesterday dealing with Dave Chappelle. Dave Chappelle put out a video on Tuesday, November 24th, put it on Instagram, calling on his fans not to watch the Chappelle Show on Netflix, And this ties into the deal that he had through Comedy Central and through Viacom CBS. And he said he was not being compensated for the streaming of the Chappelle Show. So we're going to talk about that. And Netflix has removed the Chappelle Show from streaming on the Netflix platform. We'll talk some about that story. It's very interesting because it also deals with contracts and law and business, and it deals with the business side of entertainment. Okay, and the business side of entertainment is the side of entertainment that screws a lot of people up. Okay. They don't understand contract and law, don't understand business. They're the performer, and many of them end up getting screwed out of money. If you watch Unsung on TV One, and I being in radio and haven't been in radio for 10 years, I've been actually working for Radio Station One, but being in radio for 10 years, I've come in contact with a number of different artists, whether they're singers, actors, actresses, whether they're directors or comedians, etc. And it's a dirty business. And then 20 years ago, I worked at another radio station in sales and met a lot of entertainers and famous people who are still around today. But understanding the business side is something entirely different. It's and a lot of people like LL Cool J have said, I never met LL Cool J, but I've met people who knew him. Halle Berry's in the news. So I met her ex-husband, Eric Benet. That's a whole interesting story. We ain't gonna get into that though, but that's a whole interesting story right there. I get in trouble talking too much, but but anyway, it's a whole nother set of it's a whole nother business. Some people say it should be called business show as opposed to show business, because it's business first and show secondly. So we'll talk some about this story dealing with Dave Chappelle. It's very interesting, and one of the reasons why it's so interesting is because he talked about the fact that he didn't make a lot of money from the Chappelle Show. The Chappelle Show is still running on Comedy Central, okay? At least before Netflix pulled the streaming. I'm not sure if it's still on Comedy Central, but I was just watching it like in the last couple of weeks on Comedy Central. It's still hilarious, okay? And a lot of times you see things like this. Let me give you an example. We posted an article on our Facebook fan page, The African History Network, a couple of days ago. Now, I picked it up from the Ricky Smiley show on Facebook, okay, because I follow Ricky Smiley on Facebook. And it was an article from, I think, June of 2019. It was an interview done with Fantasia Barrino, the actress Fantasia. She was on America's Next Top, American Idol. She was on American Idol. We were familiar with Fantasia. And Fantasia in this article, and we'll probably talk about it on our Sunday show, she stunned a lot of people saying that she lost almost everything, financially in her career. And today she drives herself around. She doesn't have a chauffeur. She doesn't have a cook, at least one, daily. She doesn't have a cook. She cooks her own food, things like that. So she started doing things more for herself and paying more attention to her finances. And the woman who was interviewing her said, well, you have money for this, you have money for that, blah, blah, blah. You've got it. And she said, you don't know that. She said, there's a lot of entertainers who you see, they're putting on this front like they have all of this and they don't. And that's real, especially when you read some of their contracts. That's real. Okay. And one of the things that happened in the industry, and I knew promoters, I knew people I knew people who were representatives for record companies back in the late 90s. Okay. Back like 98, 99, going into 2000. And the digital downloads changed the game. The Napster, even before it was really iTunes, I think there were some other ones, but the digital downloads that cut into the revenue and the profits of the recording industry. So it totally changed everything. So one of the things I encourage young artists, and I meet some young artists, here and there and doing radio, especially when we were broadcasting in studio. Because of COVID-19, the radio station has us broadcasting from home. But one of the things I encourage young artists to do is to watch every episode of Unsung on TV1. Because, and take notes, don't just sit there and be entertained, take notes. Because if you can watch Unsung and you watch how many of these artists, we still listen to the music today, they died broke, had bad contracts, blew the money, snorted the money. If you can learn from their mistakes, you will be much better off. If you can stay off drugs, don't get women pregnant, okay, that you're not married to, at least. Don't get women pregnant or a bunch of, if it's your girlfriend, then you get engaged, you get married. That's understandable. But 4, 5, 6 women? No, that's a good way to go broke. Okay. And then one lesson I learned from the group Silk, not to put them on blast, but this is not bad. It's in Unsung. Well, hell, you put it out there yourself. Silk was basically discovered by Keith Sweat, the Sweater Man. Okay. And so Silk came out. They had a big first album. You remember, let me look you up and down, and they had some hits, right? I saw them perform live. Silk. They were performing. I remember at St. Andrew's Hall. Because like back in the day, a lot of times I got tickets for free to go places, things go see people perform, and I get to meet people backstage after the show, what have you. Okay. There's some hotel stories I'm not going to talk about, but but anyway, so one of the things so a lot of people ask, well, what happened to Silk, right? What happened was their second album that came out, they wanted more control, more creative control over that, as opposed to Keith Sweat having control over it. So there was, some type of disagreement, and what happened was, if I remember correctly, Silk ended up getting more creative control over their second album, and it flopped. Okay. And what Keith Sweat was explaining to him is like, look, because of the sophomore jinx, you've got to make sure your second album is big. I'm paraphrasing, but let me produce this. Then your third album, you can have more creative control there. And a lot of times when you have young artists, they don't know the industry. They have that big first album and they think they're hot. And it's like, there's no guarantee your next album's going to be banging. I've seen it a number of times that sophomore album flops and you don't hear from the people again. The other thing is, the other side of that industry is that you could end up that second album flops. The record company fronts the money for studio time, production, marketing, things like that, right? You could end up owing the record company money. And there's been a lot of people who left the industry still owing the record company money. So it's you know, whether you talk about being a comedian, I knew a lot of comedians, and you know, back in the day, here in Detroit, and whether you talk about Cheryl Underwood, who's on The Talk. I met Cheryl Underwood. She's a sister Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated. I met her back in the day when I was in radio sales. There's a lot of people. Some of them passed away. You know, comedian Big Daddy Fitz here in Detroit, comedian Kool-Aid here in Detroit. There's people I knew back in the day. So it's a vicious business whether you're talking about being a comedian, actor, recording artist, singer, whatever. It's a vicious business. So you got to understand the business side first. This is what I stress for a lot of people. It's like, you know, you need to take some business classes, take some contract law classes. You know, like in business school, we had to take business law to be able to graduate from Wayne State Business School, because you had to have a basic understanding in business of contracts, of law. So there was a class in Wayne State Business School we had to take called business law, taught by an attorney, and it dealt with understanding the law as it pertains to business. So we'll talk about Dave Chappelle. Then Ricky Schroder. Remember Ricky Schroder from Sliver Spoons with Alfonso Ribeiro, you know, Carlton Banks, and he went on, and Ricky Schroder went on to do NYPD Blue. Ricky Schroder is getting a lot of backlash on social media, and rightfully so. Ricky Schroder, along with the My Pillow guy, the My Pillow CEO, Mike Lindell, that you see the commercials of. Mike Lindell is a big Donald Trump supporter, if y'all don't know. So, you know, we posted a meme on our Facebook fan page, the African History Network. It said, if you're thinking about buying My Pillow for the holidays, something, you may want to rethink that, because Mike Lindell contributed to the $2 million to help bail out alleged killer Kyle Rittenhouse. You know, Kyle Rittenhouse in Kenosha, Minnesota. Kenosha, Wisconsin, who killed the two Black Lives Matter activists. They were white men, but they were Black Lives Matter activists also. Ricky Schroder and Mike Lindell, who's the CEO of My Pillow, they were some of the people who donated to raise the $2 million to bail Kyle Rittenhouse out of jail. We're going to talk about this. New York Post has an article about this. YourBlackWorld.net also. Very interesting. You know, so you see these people coming out supporting this, and then Ricky Schroder is getting backlash on social media. What the hell do you think was going to happen? You know, what do you think was going to happen? Complex.com has an article. Ricky Schroder calls police after being harassed online for helping Kyle Rittenhouse post bail. You think? They were just harassing you online. That's all it was. Really? Okay. But all right, so we'll talk about that story. Then I saw an article. One of my Facebook friends posted this, or was it on Instagram? Because I'm on Instagram also. It's Michael Imhotep on Instagram, I think. But this was an article from October 8th, 2019. Africa has the highest number of female inventors in the world. Africa has the highest number of female inventors in the world. The Intellectual Property Office in the United Kingdom has published a study revealing a list of the countries with the highest share of female inventors. The findings show that African nations have the highest proportion of female involvement in female inventors. The African nation of Togo leads the list, followed by Uganda and Latvia in Europe. So we know that the first engineers, okay, come in engineering comes out of Africa, things like this, even before the great pyramids of Khufu, Khafre, and Menkaure, things like this. We have Southern Africa, structures in Southern Africa. We know this. Engineering, science, mathematics all comes out of Africa, specifically the Nile Valley region of Africa. But when we think about inventors today, okay, and we think about, well, which nations have the highest proportion of inventors, many people would not automatically think of African nations. Donald Trump probably wouldn't, because he called them SO countries. We'll talk about that also. Calling number 313-778-7600. 313-778-7600 is the calling number if you have a question or comment. Listen to the African History Network show. You can donate to the African History Network, $ the AHN show through Cash App, $ the AHN show through Cash App, then also through PayPal, paypal.me/the AHN show, paypal.me/the AHN show. And at our website, AfricanHistoryNetwork.com, AfricanHistoryNetwork.com. Okay, so we're here 6 days a week now as of October 12th instead of 1 day a week. We're still on Sundays, 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, as we have been in that time slot for 4 years here on 9:10 a.m. the Superstation WFDF in Detroit. But we're also on Monday through Friday, 11 p.m. to 12 midnight Eastern Standard Time. So since we're here 6 days a week, when you donate or buy DVD lectures, things like that, that really helps support us, and so we can keep broadcasting the show, doing the research, stay on the air, etc. All right, we're coming up on a break. You listen to the African History Network show right here on 9:10 a.m. the Superstation, the Future Radio. I'm Michael Imhotep. We'll be back in a few minutes. All right, stand by, everybody. Calling number is 313-778-7600. It's the calling number if you have a quick question or comment. 313-778-7600 is the calling number if you have a quick question or comment. So I'm going to do a broadcast sometime on Thursday. I think Thursday morning. We're going to deal with the real history of Thanksgiving. Don't know the exact time. I think it's sometime Thursday morning. Okay. African-American business owners, post the name of your business here on the thread of the broadcast. Email us at customerservice@AfricanHistoryNetwork.com. Customerservice@AfricanHistoryNetwork.com. Okay. And we'll let you know how you can advertise with the African History Network. We have a special promotion for a couple more days. You have, I think, 3 slots left for our Monday through Friday show. Email us at customerservice@AfricanHistoryNetwork.com. Have you tasted the world famous No Frowny Brownie yet from the Pink Bakery? If not, what are you waiting for? They are vegan, gluten-free, and free of the big 8 allergens. While eating their No Frowny brownies, the fabulous Miss Tabitha Brown said they were very good. Very good. And you know, if she says that, they are. The Pink Bakery is the first Black-owned, Big 8 allergen-free baking mix company. Go to thepinkbakery.com. That's thepinkbakery.com to order their No Frowny Brownie mix today.
Do you have an idea or business that requires app development or thinking of moving your IT resources to the cloud? We have post-paid and profit-sharing plans for unique ideas or profitable businesses. Who can take advantage of this unique program? Entrepreneurs with unique ideas, startups, small to medium businesses. Contact us 267-209-0352.
Visit nomadicsystems.net, nomadicsystems.net today. For 25 years, the Black History 101 Mobile Museum has carried on the rich legacy of the Black Museum movement in America by showcasing original artifacts of the Black experience at colleges, universities, K-12 schools, corporations, libraries, conferences, and cultural events, making it the most traversed Black History mobile exhibit in American history. Dr. Khalid El Hakim is the founder of the Black History 101 Mobile Museum, and he is a highly sought-after public speaker on topics of Black history, social studies, education, museum studies, hip hop, and race relations. Dr. Khalid was named among the change makers for NBC Universal's Erase the Hate campaign and listed as one of the 100 men of distinction for Black enterprise. He recently founded the Michigan Hip Hop Archive on the campus of Western Michigan University. The Black History 101 Mobile Museum is currently scheduling in-person and virtual exhibits nationwide. For more information, please contact Dr. Khalid Al-Hakim directly at 313-645-4197, 313-645-4197, or visit their website at blackhistorymobilemuseum.com. That's blackhistorymobilemuseum.com. You can also email him at bhistory101@yahoo.com, bhistory101@yahoo.com. Welcome back to the African History Network show right here on 910 AM, the Superstation, the Future Radio. Hey, I'm your host, Brother Michael Imhotep. It is Wednesday, November 25th, 2020, and we are live. Hope everybody's doing well. The call-in number is 313-778-7600. 313-778-7600 is the call-in number if you have a quick question or comment. And we're still on Sundays, 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We've been in that time slot for 4 years. Also on Thursday, they're re-airing, the best of shows on 9:10 a.m. Superstation. So we won't be on live Thursday. We'll be back Friday night, 11 p.m. to 12 midnight Eastern Standard Time. Thursday on my social media platforms, the African History Network on Facebook, and Michael Imhotep on YouTube. Sometime, I guess, Thursday morning, I'm going to do a broadcast dealing with the real history of Thanksgiving and what are we really celebrating, those that celebrate it. And when I do that presentation, when I deal with that history, I deal with it from the perspective of Native Americans, especially the Wampanoag Nation of Native Americans. Okay, so we deal with the real history, what happened in 1621, what we were told was the first Thanksgiving. So we deal with all that history, and then how did Thanksgiving become a national holiday going back to the Civil War? Okay, right around 1863, the first National Day of Thanks. And we do with Sarah Josepha Hale. Sarah Josepha Hale was the woman who is largely credited with helping Thanksgiving become a national day of thanks, a national holiday. And Sarah Josepha Hale is probably better known. Well, people know a story that she wrote, but don't know she wrote it. She's the woman who wrote Mary Had a Little Lamb. Okay, so follow us on our Facebook fan page, The African History Network, The African History Network, and my YouTube channel, Michael Imhotep, IMHOTEP, for that lesson on Thursday. I guess we'll do Thursday morning. Depends upon what time I get up. Just be honest with you. I don't know, because I'll be off from 9-10 tomorrow, so I'm trying to figure all this stuff out. I don't know. But we'll do it sometime Thursday, okay? All right. You can donate to the African History Network, $ the AHN Show through Cash App, $ the AHN Show through Cash App, and then also through PayPal, paypal.me/the AHN Show. All right. I want to go to this clip here. So this is from Screen Rant. We posted this article from Screen Rant on Tuesday, November 24th. It got over 2,000 likes on our Facebook fan page, The African History Network. Netflix removes Chappelle's show after he demands fans never watch it again. Okay. Now, many of us watched the Chappelle show. I remember back it was about 2003. It came on. There's some classic stuff in there. I'm Rick James B and all type. He's doing Prince and Rick James. He did what's his name? T-Pain. Dave Chappelle is very, very talented. Okay. Now I don't like the usage of the N-word because I don't use it at all, but he's still very talented. He has a lot of insight. There's some brilliance there. But Netflix has pulled Dave Chappelle's show, from its service after just 3 weeks due to Dave Chappelle's anger over the deal's lack of pay. Now, Dave Chappelle's classic Comedy Central series, which still airs on Comedy Central. Okay, still airs on Comedy Central. And I was just watching it last couple of weeks, man. I was like, there's a lot of brilliance there. And then he had the Roots on. That was a brilliant show. Okay. And you know what? The episode that I saw, it had Common and Kanye West perform. This was Kanye West before he just after the damn food and is not getting invited to the cookout anymore. Okay, unless it's to wash the dishes. But it was like Common and Kanye West. So you go through and look at all the people they had on that show. What it reminds me of is the Flip Wilson show, because Flip Wilson left Hollywood also, and Flip Wilson left Hollywood to go help raise his family. Okay. And I used to watch the Flip Wilson show when I was a kid in the 1970s. I sit on the floor in the living room, watch it with my parents. And I remember Geraldine, what you see is what you get. And the devil made me do it. Flip Wilson was brilliant. And he had everybody on there, everybody from Red Fox to Muhammad Ali. All these people on the Flip Wilson show is one of the, I think Spire on which the Spire TV, the Spire cable channel, which is owned by Magic Johnson. They used to show the Flip Wilson show a lot. I don't know if they still show it, but if you watch the Flip Wilson show, check that out, man. You'll see all these people that he used to have on the show. I think he was on 5 seasons, and he ends up leaving Hollywood and going to raise his family. Then he came back in about 1985 on the TV show Charles and Company or something like that. It was like kind of like a clone of the Cosby Show. It was on a different network. It was on the ABC network, if I remember correctly. Cosby Show was on NBC. So season 2 of the Cosby Show, Flip Wilson comes with his sitcom about an African-American family. His wife was played by Gladys Knight. One of his sons was played by Jaleel White, who goes on to be Steve Urkel on Family Matters, and Family Matters was on for 10 years on ABC also. Okay. But that door for all these shows, whether it's Hanging with Mr. Cooper, whether it's the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, whether it's Flip Wilson show, whether it's Family Matters, all those shows, the door was open by Bill Cosby, the Cosby Show. Okay. So it's important for us to really understand that legacy that Bill Cosby laid. And when you go look at the movie, it wasn't Uptown Saturday. No, it was Uptown Saturday Night, because they were trying to get the lottery ticket. When you go look at Uptown Saturday Night, Flip Wilson is in the movie also. He's the preacher, okay, in the movie. All right, so, but Chappelle Show has been removed from Netflix because Dave Chappelle put the word out. Now on Tuesday, November 24th, he released an 18-minute clip from a stand-up act that he did. And the name of the clip is called Unforgiven. It's on Instagram. I just saw it. I just saw it again before coming on the air. It's been viewed a little more than 4 million times in a day. So he put the word, he dropped the dime on Netflix. All right. He dropped the dime on Netflix. But Dave Chappelle mentioned it was available on streaming, Chappelle Show on Netflix streaming service during his post-election week stint on Saturday Night Live, calling out the fact that he was not paid for the deal at all, calling out the fact that he was not paid for the deal at all. Streaming, he's not being paid for that. Okay. And one of the, when you study the business, you always see this constant fight of entertainers, even entertainers at the level of Dave Chappelle, fighting to be properly compensated for their work. Okay. So when he originally signed the deal back in early 2000, we didn't know anything about streaming services, for video like that, things like that. We didn't know Netflix wasn't streaming back in early 2000s. So at the time, the comment was lost among so when he was on Saturday Night Live about 3 weeks ago, the comment was lost among his election comments because the election was dominating the headlines. And if you go to Saturday Night Live's YouTube channel, and I follow them on YouTube, you can watch his full monologue there when he was on 3 weeks ago. So I'm gonna go back and watch that. and pay closer attention to it. So Chappelle Show, which ran for 3 tumultuous seasons in the early 2000s, is considered one of the finest comedy shows of all time. Dave Chappelle, who briefly disappeared from the show only to turn up in Durban, South Africa, saying he was on a spiritual retreat, vanished from the spotlight for several years after it ended. It's only in recent years that he's re-emerged, producing several hit comedy specials for Netflix. Now, Netflix has pulled Chappelle Show from their streaming service, responding to Dave Chappelle's request to do so. So Dave Chappelle posted a video on Instagram on Tuesday, November 24th, 2020, titled Unforgiven. It's about 18 minutes. I encourage everybody to watch it. He explained why he asked Netflix to remove the series. In the video taken from a recent stand-up show, Chappelle claims Viacom CBS, who owns the rights to Chappelle Show, has never paid him for streaming the show and did not tell him it would be streamed on Netflix. These are these types of deals that take place. And you see somebody like Dave Chappelle and it's like, well, wow. But see, this was the deal he signed early on, back in the early 2000s, when he was basically broke. He talked about this in Unforgiven. And he signed a deal. He didn't understand the business. He was young. He didn't have any money. So he thought what he was signing was a good deal. And back at that time, we didn't know anything about streaming. It's like Red Fox. You know, I'm a big Red Fox fan, Sanford and Son. But after Sanford and Son ends, after it ran 122 episodes, I have all 6 seasons of Sanford and Son on DVD. I have the box set. He sold the royalties to Sanford and Son. He was encouraged, if I remember the story correctly. He actually sold it to one of his attorneys, and he thought he was making a good deal, but he said the attorney was looking out for himself, but not his client, you know. And we didn't know when he sold it, we didn't know anything about box DVD sets and that being sold and really understanding reruns and things like that, right? So he largely died. We know he had problems with the IRS. He largely died broke. He was filming the TV show The Royal Family, which was on ABC, if I remember correctly. The Royal Family. Della Reese played his wife. If you remember, there was an episode of Sanford and Son where Della Reese was a guest, because all these entertainers and artists, they knew each other, whether they're in Harlem or things like this. It's really, especially back at that time, you go back to the 60s and 70s, you know, it's largely a small circle. So Lena Horne and all these people, Flip Wilson, Della Reese, things like that, they're going to be within those circles. And if they don't know each other, their agents probably know each other. Their agent knows the other person's agent. They probably know each other. Okay, so they're going to, you know, you one person away or 2 people away from knowing one of these entertainers. So Dave Chappelle reveals that when he found out it was on Netflix, the Chappelle Show streaming on Netflix, when he found out it was on Netflix, he called Netflix and told them it, quote, makes him feel bad, end quote. It makes him feel bad. And he talks about this in the stand-up. Now, as a result, Netflix agreed to remove it from their platform. He went on to say that by streaming the show, they would be, quote, fencing stolen goods, and teases the fact that he would like to do another season of Chappelle's Show, but can't because Comedy Central owns the rights to the name and his likeness from the show. So in these contracts, and I've seen some of these contracts, the company has the rights to use your likeness for perpetuity. Some of these contracts is like legalized pimping. I'm gonna be honest with you. Some of these contracts, oh my God, they own the rights for perpetuity. After you're dead, they're still making money off of you. So Comedy Central owns the name Chappelle Show, even though that's part of his last name. So he can't do another show called Chappelle Show unless it's a deal with Comedy Central to give him permission to do this. All right. You know, whoever said pimping ain't easy didn't own the company. We've heard the term pimping ain't easy. It is when you own the company and it's your attorney drawing up the contract. Pimping is easy then. All right, so I want to go to this clip here from Screen Rant, where they give a breakdown of what happened. Let's go to this clip, Shakita.
Chappelle Show is off Netflix after just 3 weeks, and Dave just gave fans some insight. Chappelle himself took to social media to put Viacom CBS on blast.
People think I made a lot of money from Chappelle Show. When I left that show, I never got paid.
Despite Chappelle Show being one of the most revered comedy shows of all time, Dave left the spotlight only to return to Netflix in 2017 with a series of exclusive stand-up specials. Which begs the question, if Dave loves Netflix so much, why did he want them to take Chappelle Show off their platform?
I called them and I told them that this makes me feel bad. They agreed that they would take it off their platform.
Dave has encouraged his fans not to watch Chappelle Show, but will fans heed his warning? And will Viacom finally pay us? We'll just have to wait and see how it all shakes out. For more movie and TV news, keep it right here on Screen Rant. We'll see you next time.
All right, so check out this article from ScreenRant.com. And we'll post the link here on the thread of the broadcast. We already posted on our Facebook fan page, The African History Network. It's gotten over 2,000 likes and hundreds of comments. Netflix removes Chappelle Show after he demands fans never watch it again. So he dropped the dime on Netflix. He exposed look at what Dave Chappelle did. He didn't have to go through a publicist to put out the 18-minute clip. It's on his Instagram page. It's been viewed 4 million times in maybe about 24, 36 hours, something like that. Netflix does not want the blowback. Netflix does not want the negative publicity. So Netflix is complying. Okay. And then and what Dave Chappelle did is also he put Viacom CBS on blast, and he's exposing these contracts. What's going on here? All right. So it's a remarkable piece of stand-up that Dave Chappelle did. It's about 18 minutes, and which ends with Chappelle begging his fans not to watch the show on any streaming service unless it's announced that he'll get paid for it. Dave Chappelle is no stranger to controversy, covering subjects that other comedians often avoid. He received a lot of backlash for taking on cancel culture in his Netflix special Sticks and Stones, and has been criticized for similar sentiments throughout his career. So check out this article and watch the clip. It's on Dave Chappelle's Instagram page. Now, speaking of somebody, actor who was a childhood actor, who's not getting a lot of support, not getting a lot of sympathy, little Ricky Schroder. Okay, so New York Post had an article about this. Your Black World picked it up. Actor Ricky Schroder helped get Kenosha shooter Kyle Rittenhouse out of jail. Actor Ricky Schroder was on Sliver Spoons with Alfonso Ribeiro. Then he went on to NYPD Blue. Helped get Kenosha shooter Kyle Rittenhouse out of jail, along with the help of the My Pillow guy, who to me looks a little creepy. I ain't trying to cast aspersions on anybody, but he's a little creepy to me. But anyway, actor Ricky Schroder and My Pillow CEO Mike Lindell both helped get Kenosha shooter Kyle Rittenhouse, 17 years old, with the assault rifle. You remember his mama drove him across line with the assault rifle because he just wanted to go protect property so much. Okay, this is after Jacob Blake was killed and there were protests going on and some, fire setting windows, broken things like this, right? But he wanted to travel across state lines to protect property so much, because if Black people don't need being protected, it's property that needs to be protected. Okay, so So they along with other donors raised $2 million to get Kyle Rittenhouse out of jail. Okay, according to a report, that was Friday, November 20th. He was released from jail on bond. So he faces murder charges in the August 25th shooting during a Black Lives Matter protest in Kenosha, Wisconsin. And Kyle Rittenhouse posed for a picture with the NYPD Blue actor, Ricky Schroder, after the bond was posted by his lawyers on Friday, November 20th, CBS affiliate WBBM TV reported. Now, Lynn Wood, L-I-N, Lynn Wood, one of Kyle Rittenhouse's attorneys, posted the photo on Twitter shortly before 9 p.m. that day. Free at last, Wood wrote on the post, which shows a smiling Kyle Rittenhouse standing between Ricky Schroder and attorney John Pierce. Thank you, all donors. Thank you, all patriots. Thank God Almighty. Okay, how's it that they're patriots? How's it that they're patriots? First of all, it's illegal for you to have a gun in the first place. So how are they patriots? I don't understand this. So Kyle Rittenhouse of Antioch, Illinois, claims he acted in self-defense when he shot and killed protesters Anthony Huber, Huber, 26 years old, and Joseph Rosenbaum, 36 years old, and wounded a third man while with a militia group during protests of the police shooting of Jacob Blake. Jacob Blake was shot 7 times in the back by Kenosha cops during a domestic disturbance, sparking anti-police demonstrations. I just find it interesting. You got these militia groups. They want to go protect property. They're not coming in to protect African Americans from the police. They're coming in to protect property. Okay. So Kyle Rittenhouse fled to Illinois, but surrendered to police there the following day and was later extradited back to Wisconsin to face trial. The teen has become the darling of conservative and pro-gun rights groups. Okay. Now, did Breonna Taylor's boyfriend, who had a legal gun, did he get the support of these gun rights groups? Did he get the support of the NRA and the police? Bust down the door. He said they did not announce themselves. Okay, he fires a shot. According to Kentucky Attorney General Daniel Cameron, the boyfriend shot one of the officers in the thigh. Now, when the Kentucky State Police did the ballistics test, they said it was not conclusive that the bullet came from his 9mm gun. Okay. USA Today has an article dealing with how the ballistics don't line up with the story that Kentucky Attorney General Daniel Cameron was telling. We dealt with this on this show. There's an article from USA Today that breaks this down and deals with the ballistics. Kentucky State Police said the ballistics report is inconclusive, that the 9mm bullet that came out of the officer's thigh or officer's leg was fired by Breonna Taylor's boyfriend's gun. Okay, so but anyway, so check out the rest of this article here. We know that Ricky Schroder, so more than $500,000 has been raised through a legal defense fund, and through donations from high-profile supporters, WBBM reported, including Mike Lindell, CEO of MyPillow, and Ricky Schroder, who first gained fame as a childhood actor in the 1979 classic The Champ alongside Jon Voight, and then later the 1980s sitcom Sliver Spoons. Meanwhile, Kyle Rittenhouse's release on bond did not sit well with John Hubbard, whose son was killed by Rittenhouse. He said, quote, he has people out there who will help him, organizations, militia groups, raising money for his defense right now. He thinks he's above the law. Reminds me of Donald Trump. He's been treated as such by law enforcement. He believes he's justified in the case, and for him to run would not surprise me. Okay, so Now, also the other thing is that Kyle Rittenhouse allegedly used $1,200 from a coronavirus stimulus check from the federal government to purchase the AR-15 assault rifle used in the shooting. But it's illegal for him to own the gun because at the time he was 17 years old. So that's a felony. You're using federal funds to commit a felony? Because he was under 18 years old, Rittenhouse allegedly bought the weapon through an older pal, Dominic Black, 19 years old, who now faces felony charges in the case and is awaiting trial for his role. So you use federal funds to commit a felony? Really? Huh. Okay. Check out this article from the New York Post. We posted on our Facebook fan page, the African History Network. Actor Ricky Schroder helped get Kenosha shooter Kyle Rittenhouse out of jail. Then little Ricky, have a flashback to Lucille Ball and I Love Lucy, little Ricky there. But then little Ricky calls the police after being harassed online for helping alleged killer Kyle Rittenhouse post bail. So we can file this under what the hell do you think was going to happen, little Ricky? Ricky Schroder is getting some well-deserved hate from helping alleged mass shooter and alleged murderer Kyle Rittenhouse make bail. Law enforcement sources told TMZ that authorities were dispatched to the actor filmmaker's house after he called them to review, quote, negative social media posts, end quote, made about him. Unlike Kyle Rittenhouse's actions, none of these messages and posts were deemed, quote unquote, life-threatening. Instead, they merely hurt his fragile feelings, according to complex.com. Complex.com has this article. They hurt his fragile feelings, forcing him to try to tell on the trolls and get the police involved. So this past weekend, we know TMZ reported that the NYPD Blue actor donated 6 figures to Kyle Rittenhouse's bail fund. Per the suspect's attorney, Lynn Wood, Ricky Schroder donated $150,000 to help Kyle Rittenhouse pay the it was, according to this, the $200,000 needed to post $2 million bail and get out of jail, 10%. Okay, so if you only had to pay $200,000, then most of this came from little Ricky, $150,000, according to TMZ. Check out this article also here from complex.com. Okay, Ricky Schroder calls police after being harassed online for helping Kyle Rittenhouse post bail. And this is from November 24th, 2020. All right. Okay. Shakita, do we have any callers? Did we have any callers, Shakita? Okay. Let me know. No callers. Okay. All right. And then lastly, I want to get to this other story here. How's everybody doing? Everybody share this broadcast on your social media platforms. Invite your friends to tune in also. You can donate to the African History Network, $ the AHN Show through Cash App, $ the AHN Show through Cash App. Then also through PayPal, paypal.me/the AHN Show, paypal.me/the AHN Show, and at our website, AfricanHistoryNetwork.com. Africa has the highest number of female inventors in the world. Africa has the highest number of female inventors in the world. This was an article I saw from BusinessInsider.com, and somebody posted this. I can't remember whether it was on Facebook or Instagram, one of my friends on Facebook and Instagram, but it came out October 8th, 2019. So we posted it on our Facebook fan page, the African History Network. It got hundreds of likes. So I said, we need to talk about this because, see, you know, this probably would surprise Donald Trump if he actually read, because he said, you know, these African nations were S-hole countries, right? A new study by the United Kingdom's Intellectual Property Office has explored gender profiles in patenting across the world, like patenting in inventions, patenting across the world. The research titled An Analysis of Female Inventorship found that the highest share of female inventors are in Africa. The highest share of female inventors are in Africa. According to the study, the African nation of Togo, Togo, that now some people, Donald Trump will probably look at that and call it Togo. Togo, no, it's Togo. TOG is Togo, not Togo. Togo. But the African nation of Togo has the highest proportion of female involvement in patent applications, looking at the period of time from 1998 to 2017. Uganda is second in the world with 44.5%, followed by Europe's Latvia in third place with 39.05%. Overall, there are 5 African nations on the list of the top 10 countries with the most female inventors. 5 African nations on the list of the top 10 countries with the most female inventors. So the top 10 countries with the highest number of female inventors are Togo, 57%, Uganda, 44%, Latvia, 39%, Liberia, 38%, Rwanda, 37%, Cuba, 36%, Botswana, 35%, Sri Lanka, 34%, Papua New Guinea, 29%, and Georgia, the European nation of Georgia, 29%. So you have 5 African nations, Togo, Uganda, Liberia, Rwanda, and Botswana, 5 African nations out of the top 10 countries in the world with the highest percentage of female inventors. Now, looking at the recent trends in female inventorship across the world, the report also found a slow but gradual increase in the number of female inventors in all global patent applications. Before 1965, the share of female inventors in the world was generally between 2% and 3%. Before 1965, the share of female inventors in the world was generally between 2% and 3%. Now, this has since grown from 6.8% in 1998 to 12.7% in 2017. This has grown from 6.8% in 1998 to 12.7% in 2017. Now over one in 5 applications have at least one female inventor. Now over 1 in 5 applications, a little more than 20%, have at least one female inventor. More women are applying for patents as well. So this indicates that a growing increase in the share of female inventors in patent applications across the globe. All right, so check out this article here from businessinsider.com, picked up from Pulse.ng. Africa has the highest number of female inventors in the world. This is from October 8th, 2019, but it caught my eye. We posted it on our fan page, the African History Network. It got a big response, so I said, let's talk about it here as well. Also, howafrica.com and some other outlets picked up on this article, picked up on this study as well. Okay, so we'll be back Friday, and we'll be back Sunday, Thursday, Thanksgiving Day. We'll do a special broadcast, I guess, Thursday morning. Follow us on our Facebook fan page, The African History Network, The African History Network. Then on Facebook and my YouTube channel, Michael Imhotep, IMHOTEP. And all my DVD lectures are available at our website, AfricanHistoryNetwork.com, AfricanHistoryNetwork.com. We have bundle packs there, my lectures as well. We have the 8 DVD set, The Africans Who Were Here Before Columbus, The Africans Who Were Here Before Columbus. And I also have a 3-hour lecture at our website dealing with the history of Christmas, ancient Kemet, the Moors, and ancient Kemet, the winter solstice, and the history of Christmas as well. So 3-hour lecture I've done dealing with the history of Christmas. All right. So look, hey, thanks for tuning in. We're going to get out of here. Remember, the African History Network, we focus on educating, empowering, and inspiring people of African descent throughout the diaspora and around the world, because right now it's correct wrong behavior. It's not over till we win. We're going to continue for a little while longer on our social media platforms. We'll give you an update. We'll do our news roundup segment. So keep watching on our Facebook fan page and YouTube. We'll keep going for a few more minutes. Remember, right now it's correct wrong behavior. It's not over till we win. Wakanda forever. We'll talk to you next time. Peace. Stand by. All right, stand by, everybody. All right, let's continue here for a little while longer. African-American business owners, post the name of your business here on the thread of the broadcast. We'll let you know how you can advertise with the African History Network. Email us at customerservice@africanhistorynetwork.com, customerservice@africanhistorynetwork.com. Let's do a quick update on what's going on in the news in our news roundup segment. How you doing there, Leah? Brenda, how's everybody doing? And also, if you like this type of information, you can donate to the African History Network, $ TheAHNShow through Cash App, and paypal.me/TheAHNShow. Okay, we'll post the information here. So if you want to donate 5, 10, 15, 25, 50, 100, whatever it is, through PayPal, if you want, you can set up for a recurring donation also at our website, AfricanHistoryNetwork.com. Click on the yellow donate button. Are you ready for a new Black economy? Well, Happy, The Role of Economics in the Development of Civilization, is a brand new documentary that will set you on a new path of knowledge and enlightenment. The Happy film gives viewers a snapshot of our economic history from the dawn of civilization right up until today. The underlying theme of the film is the interrelationship between the three essential components of economics, politics, and culture. Happy brings together the brightest and most prolific minds in the fields of psychology, history, business, and politics, such as Dr. Leonard Jeffries, Professor James Small, Dr. Julian Malveaux, Dr. Zahi Hawass, and Jabari Osazi, and more. Together, they deliver a message of cooperative economics, financial independence, and a pride that we can all be inspired by. The film is on sale now. It's streaming on all digital formats. Or for DVD, please visit Happy, H-A-P-I, happyfilm.com. Use offer code Happy, AHN, for a 10% discount. Revitalizing, restorative, indulgent, essential. Crea's Love Butter Raw Shea Butter Collection. How do we know if our skin products are truly delivering all of the health benefits they should? Crea's Love Butter is a thoughtful combination of hand-selected ingredients designed to enhance the level of your skin's health. Crea's Love Butter is an ideal gift for health-conscious loved ones and is a pleasure to both give and receive. They've harnessed the restorative powers of raw shea butter and infused it with their love and passion for revitalizing skin that you will undoubtedly feel from the first use. Visit their website today, creaslovebutter.com. CREAS, creaslovebutter.com. Put your skin in the game.
Melanize Media is an independently Black-owned and operated film company. We specialize in producing culturally enriching Black films and videos at melanizemedia.com. Join us every Sunday for Melanize Nights, where we screen a socially conscious documentary film or Black historic presentation. That's every Sunday evening at 7 p.m. Visit melanizemedia.com to learn more and to register. That's MELANEYES media.com. Peace.
Well, as I've been saying, coronavirus is spreading, and we see that we're at 12.6 million cases, 261,000 deaths. We are at about 21 straight days of 100,000 new cases or more, okay, which is a record. As virus spread continues, cases and deaths soar. The U.S. added more than 1 million coronavirus cases in each of the last 2 weeks, for the first time since the outbreak started. So the past 2 weeks, 1 million new cases each week. The U.S. added more than 1 million coronavirus cases in each of the last 2 weeks for the first time since the outbreak started. Until this month, weekly cases numbers had not exceeded 500,000. Health experts say The soaring numbers reflect both increased testing and the spread of the virus. The virus is the infection rates are steadily increasing. Okay. So health experts say the soaring numbers reflect both increased testing and the spread of the disease. And on Tuesday, November 24th, it was reportedly the deadliest day during the coronavirus pandemic in more than 6 months. Tuesday, November 24th was the deadliest day in the pandemic in more than 6 months, with almost 2,100 deaths reported, according to a Washington Post analysis. Now, let me see something here. And then for Wednesday, November 25th, you had almost 2,300 coronavirus deaths reported when we look at the updates from the Washington Post, the live updates from the Washington Post. There have been 12,673,000 confirmed cases in the United States of coronavirus, 12.6 million confirmed cases of coronavirus in the U.S., with 261,000 deaths based on a count by NBC News. Now, despite the Center for Disease Control and Prevention's warning to Americans that the warning that came out last week to stay home for Thanksgiving, don't travel for Thanksgiving, don't go over people's houses that you have other family that don't live in that house coming over. The Center for Disease Control and Prevention is telling people, do not do that. That's a very easy way for coronavirus to spread. Okay, people are going over family's house, things like this, and they think they're safe, and they're not safe. Okay, so despite the CDC's warning to Americans last week to stay home for Thanksgiving, millions of people have flown anyway, causing new concerns about the spread of the virus. This past weekend, Friday through Sunday, you had at least 3 million people who went through TSA. You're going to have going into December. December is going to be horrific for new cases and deaths, because if you have a spike in new cases, that's usually followed by a spike in deaths about 21, 22 days after the spike in new cases. Well, we've had 21 straight days of 100,000 new cases or more. And now we're seeing this spike in deaths, which coincides with about 21 or so days after the spike in new cases. So you're going to probably have like a month of deaths, 2,000 or more a day. All right, so check out the updates from NBCnews.com, and we'll post some articles dealing with this as well. All right, we're going to get out of here. Remember, at the African History Network, we focus on educating, empowering, and inspiring people of African descent throughout the diaspora and around the world, because right now it's correct wrong behavior. It's not over till we win. Wakanda forever. We'll talk to you next time. Peace. Thanks for watching, everybody. Stay safe. And don't miss our special broadcast dealing with we'll do with the real history of Thanksgiving as well. Okay, sometime on Thursday, I think Thursday morning, we'll see, but it'll be on our Facebook fan page and YouTube, so you can go back and watch it if you miss it. All right, talk to y'all later. Peace. How you doing, Leah and Musamba, Erica, Willie, Brenda? How's everybody doing? Thanks for the donation, Leah. Bruce, we see Mark. All right, everybody take care. Talk to y'all later. Peace. Tawana. Author Melinda Merritt is the author of 2 books, Merritt Magic and Age of Aquarius, Spiritual Reckoning. In the book Merritt Magic, this book is about the civil rights movement of the 1960s and how her family played a very important role in this movement. It is about all of the civil rights leaders such as Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., Reverend Jesse Jackson, John Lewis, and many others of this nation who came to her small Georgia town and started the movement that spread across this nation. This book tells the wonderful story of three powerful women who did amazing things because they had inherited special gifts from their African ancestry and used them to help the cause. These ancestral gifts seem to have been forgotten at this stage in our history. The second book, Age of Aquarius, Spiritual Reckoning, discusses the relationship between humans and the 10 spheres of the Tree of Life. Author Melinda Merritt was able to show some very interesting facts about the present and past presidents of the United States as it relates to what they did while in office. The current president is living up to the negative impact he has brought to this space. This book shows how astrology impacts people in ways that they may not be aware of. It discusses the change in the status of religion in this country, as we can easily see. There is a major change happening in that area. Visit the website merit-magic.com. That's merit-magic.com, MERRITT, and get both books for only $20. Alkebulan's lifestyle attitude is servitude. They focus on providing you quality products and customer service. They're here to fulfill your African men's and women's clothing, accessories, health and beauty products, essential oils and fragrances, hair care products, and much, much more. Check out their collection of clothing and products for African kings and queens. Visit their website, alkebulanlife.com, ALKEBULAN, alkebulanlife.com. They look forward to serving you. The books Ivy and Catalina Visit Sellville and Brooklyn Softball Adventures are from authors Sidney Carujo, Brooklyn Carujo, and Shanine Dials Carujo. In Ivy and Catalina Visit Sellville, readers will join Ivy and Catalina as they tour the small town of Sellville with their grandparents to learn about the world of science. The girls will learn about the structures and functions of the cell. This book provides great analogies that make learning about the cell easy for kids. The book Brooklyn Softball Adventures takes readers on the journey with Brooklyn through her first 2 seasons of playing softball. Through facing adversity, Brooklyn and her teammates build their confidence and learn to love the game. The book encourages children to try new things and never accept defeat. Ivy and Catalina Visit Sellville is by Sidney Carujo and Shanine Dials Carujo. And Brooklyn's Softball Adventures is by Brooklyn Carujo and Shanine Dials Carujo. Both books are available right now at Amazon.com, BarnesandNoble.com, BooksAMillion.com, and Target.com. The revolution will not be televised. It will be digitized, coded, and branded. Don't let your young person get left behind. Join TechCore 2 on Saturday, September 26, 2020 in their 6th straight year, providing tech, STEM, science, technology, engineering, and math, coding, and Saturday classes. TechCore 2's mission is to develop a technology pipeline program for urban youth from kindergarten to college to career entry. TechCore 2 offers 9 different tech classes for students in grades kindergarten through high school, including computer programming, coding, gaming, hip-hop and STEM, and video production. All classes are online with live instruction. To register or for more information, please visit techcore2.org. That's techcore2.org, or give them a call at 215-879-6701. That's 215-879-6701. Don't forget to grab your $10 discount with promo code TAHN.